Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers.
I don't know what you're doing.
I want you to
right
get
now,
your mouse.
I want you to check me out.
And I want you to check me out.
Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab.
Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things, you know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that done click the link, that done click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' blow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world, blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go.
To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you, telling you.
Can y'all hear me now? Hold on, I can check myself and see if y'all can hear me. Let me do this. Because I can tell you, if this would fix it, I know exactly why I was muted. Hold on. Yep, y'all can hear me now. Yeah. So, y'all want to know why y'all couldn't hear me? You know why you couldn't hear me? Because I got kids. My damn son was over here and he got a hold of my board. So BJ is fucking up my show. God damn it, man. This little nigga. Gotta watch this little nigga, man. God damn it. God damn it, man. All right, let me turn that off. Yep, that's what happens. My son hit my slider on my damn board. There we go. Let me make sure I'm good now. I should be right around there. There we go. All right, let me make sure my other mic is working. What? Make sure that's working. That's good. Y'all can hear me now. Okay. God damn it. All right. So I'm blaming it on my kids because that little nigga be in here. I be telling him to stay out my damn studio. All right. Damn it. But I just want to welcome everybody to the show. Thank you guys for joining in, tuning in. Please click that like button. And tonight, I want to do I'm gonna do what I normally do, but I'm also gonna really get into what I think is one of our bigger issues and one of the things that I'm tired of when it comes to these types of incidents that happen. Mass shootings, active shooters, whichever one you want to call it. It is a problem that we will continue to have. But the thing that I guess that's really disturbing me more so than the act itself is what these celebrities and politicians are doing when this occurs. And frankly, I've gotten tired of them. I really have. I've gotten tired of the politicians. I've gotten tired of these celebrities with their little hidden agendas being the fucking puppets and the fucking Pinocchios for whoever the fuck their Geppetto is, whatever side they own. I'm tired of it. And one of the reasons why because yesterday, and I promise you guys, I was set to do this show yesterday, and I couldn't because I wasn't emotionally ready to do it. I just wasn't. I could not do it. This was one of those things where, you know, these things always hit home in a certain way, but yesterday it wasn't the fact that it was in Texas. It was just the fact of this happened, and the last time something like this happened was like 20 years ago, which was Sandy Hook, and that was tough for me too. But it's like it was I just wasn't ready. That's the best way to put. I wasn't emotionally ready, and you know I had my moments yesterday in just dealing with this and getting through this to be able to do the show, and I couldn't. And I apologize to you guys for not being, able to do that. I know a lot of you guys were expecting me to, and I definitely was expecting myself to do that show last night, but I just wasn't ready. I was still going through the motions of it, still under, not trying to understand it because I understand what happens and why this happens, but it was just a thing of just dealing with it and processing it is where I struggled yesterday with it. And I just wasn't ready to get into it because I would not have been, in a good place. And it's like when I do shows and when I do this thing that we enjoy so much together, I want to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind and that I'm conveying the correct message. And I want to make sure that I'm mentally healthy enough to do it because this is a tough subject. You know what I'm saying? And especially me being a father, and my little girl goes to school every day. You know what I'm saying? And she's 8. Well, just turned 9 Monday. But she's 9 years old, and I gotta drop my kid off every day and, pray that something like this doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the fact that where I grew up and the things that I've been through in just life and being in law enforcement for the short time that I was and just dealing with those kind of things, I can deal with it a little bit better than most just because of my experience in life and my background. But I have to understand for those that didn't have my type of lifestyle, that didn't live the life that I've lived and didn't grow up where I grew up at, it's even tougher for them. It just is because, if this, let's say like if this is the 9 of normalcy, just normal living, I'm a little bit above that on the stress level because of where I lived and where I grew up at and just the things that I've seen in life. So I'm a little bit higher. My level of stress is a little bit higher than most normal people because of that. I'm used to gunshots going off. I'm used to seeing people shot and dead in the streets and that kind of stuff. I'm used to seeing that. So it's like it's easier for me to process from that level. My thing is just understanding like why do the people do that they do when it comes to this type of stuff happening, trying to further their political agenda, trying to serve their own personal agendas. I don't understand that. That is some of the most just parasitic shit that I've ever seen, and it's sickening. It's not just frustrating. It's not, we ain't got to do that. It's sickening to see that there are still politicians, there are still celebrities that jump on this every single time it happens. And I just want to say, just right off the bat, my heart goes out to those families. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that anyone can say to ease this experience that those people are going through. Nothing. There is no, I'm doing this for the kids and I'm trying to. There is nothing you can do when this type of thing happens. There is no words that can be said. There is no action that can be taken to ease this. And those people that are using that, haven't we had enough of this? It's the same thing as if somebody's talking about a car accident. Car accidents occur every day. People die on the roads every single day. And you don't see any one of those people stepping up and saying, when are we going to stop driving these cars and get back on horses? They're not doing that. Why? Because it's not serving their political agenda. It's not serving their own personal agenda to where they can try to gain favor with the who's who and with the masses to try to say, yeah, I'm the one that's speaking up and saying something. But what you're saying isn't making any sense, and it's not logical, and it's not even realistic. But I'm going to get to that later on. But I did just want to say that, I apologize to you guys because you guys do so much to support me. You guys tune in, click the like button. Those of you that donate, I really do appreciate it. And I owe you guys content. And when I can't deliver that, it does, I do acknowledge that, and it affects me because I want to be able to do this. I love doing this. But sometimes I have to make sure that I'm in the right space to do it. I don't ever want to do a show where it's just like me, like sometimes when I'm tired or I'm sleepy or something like that, when I can push through and do a good show, I do it. And I don't sit there and get on the mic and be like, yeah, I'm tired, y'all. I don't do that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, being a working full time, being a father, being a husband, and being an uncle, and being a friend, and being a brother and a son, and all of that. It does, it gets the best of me sometimes, and I just do what I can do. But I always make sure that when I do get on this mic and when I do click that live button, that I'm in the best possible shape and form that I can possibly be to deliver a good show for you all. And when I can't do that, I literally will fall back. So if I take off or you don't see me go live for a couple of days, know that it's something either dealing with my family or know that it's something to where I'm not mentally prepared to do this. So that's just what it is. And I just felt the need to say that because I don't want people to ever think that I take this for granted. I take you all for granted. I take, every like, every subscribe, every membership. I appreciate it all, and I'll never take it for granted. I love you guys, and I love doing this with you guys. And I want to make sure that when I do create this content, that I create it, and I'm giving you the best that I got. I'm straight Anita Baker when I get on this motherfucker. Giving you the best that I've got, baby. I put everything on this rehab thing. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to move into this show, and we are going to start off with my favorite part of the show. Come on, talk to me, baby.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
I love that lighter, that little Bunsen burner thing. I love that. But I'm going to say some things tonight that people may not like, but they're true. And if anyone wants to debate me on that, please let me know. Because this is one of those things where I know what, not only do I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I can debate anybody when it comes to this gun control shit. I can. I have the utmost confidence in myself when it comes to this subject.
But one of the things that I'm going to have to point out in this, and I'm going to start out by just saying, to all of the families that have lost somebody during this particular incident that has occurred, I just want to say, hey, you are in our thoughts and our prayers, and I wish nothing but God's peace upon you all, and hope that he can comfort you all in this time of suffering. Because there is nothing that I can say to help you, get through this. I've never had to experience this type of loss, and I hope I never do, and I hope that no one else ever has to. But the fact remains is that this is something that has happened and will continue to happen, and I'm sorry that it did happen. I am. And there are things that we can do to curb this, but this is something that is going to continue to happen. And it's one of those things to where you have to make adjustments in your society so that you can try to curb this kind of thing from happening. That's just what it is. And it's like, and one of the things that I'm going to talk about in this, because a lot of people have seen different sides of this and have said different points of view on this, but one of the things I'm going to say in this right off the top, when you hear all of these people talking about these kids, we talking about 21 people dead, right, in this school, 2 adults and 19 children dead. One of the things that disturbed me about this, aside from the act itself, and y'all, like I said, I know some people ain't gonna like me for what I'm about to say, but y'all do realize that we had last summer, within 1 month, we had 21 children die in Chicago. 21. Not a celebrity said a thing. Nobody came and spoke out and said when we're going to stop this and what we're going to do about this. 21 kids, 21 young people under the age of 17 got killed in 1 month. And I ain't trying to in no shape, form, or fashion say, hey, this person is different than that person, and this person is different than that person, or this person is better than that person. But it's one of those things to where you have to take into account that it's not just in these school shootings that this is happening. This is happening to our children every single day, every single weekend. Let me see what's going on with this. Who got blocked? John Lewis. It happened every week in schools. You can move away from inner city gang violence, but what about the 7 to 10-year-old that are completely stripped of a normal life? What are you talking about? These questions, you are sick. All right, yeah, hold on. Let's back that up. Let me see what's going on here, because it happens every week, bro. With that rhetoric, what are you talking about? Gun culture needs, okay, here we go. Gun culture needs to change. People can move away from inner gang violence, but what about our schools, man? What does that have to do with what I'm talking about? So here's what I'm gonna say to you, John Lewis, because I won't let you derail my show. Articulate your point, sir, and if you would like to have a conversation, we can do that. But you will not just come and spam my fucking chat, and you will not come and get off topic with my show. You have been warned. All right, there we go. So with that being said, it happens. And it's not just one of those things to where it's just when this happens in a small rural town, because yeah, it's devastating to them, but people are people everywhere. And it's devastating to the people that have been living in the hood, in the inner city, urban communities, whatever you want to call it. It's happening there. I got you, Amanda. Thank you. But it's happening there too. So it's like when you have this kind of stuff going on, it's a thing of saying, how do you address it in one instance and not address it in another? Last time I checked, a dead kid is a dead kid. regardless of what area they lived in when it happened. And if we really care about the loss of life, then it shouldn't matter if it's happening in a rural town or if it's happening in an inner city. It just shouldn't. So this should be something that is a hot button for us all. Now, there are different circumstances in which that may occur, but we still need to understand that this is something that is continuously happening. So it's one of those things to where that's one of the positions that I'm looking at this as, you know, as bad as this was, 20 kids, 19 kids dying at one time, there's no difference in 19 dying at once and 19 dying over 3 weeks from the same type of violence. You feel me? So when we look at these types of issues and these type of things that happen, it really gets me to the point to where politicians and celebrities want to speak up about these, but they won't speak up about those. And that's something I don't understand. Because just like how I'll do a video talking about this mass shooting that happened, I'll do a video that says 17 kids got killed in a month too. So that's one of my points. Let's go ahead and let's move into the story. For those of you who don't know, and I will definitely just give you all the facts of what we have today. This is basically the latest that I have on this story today. And pretty much what this is just basically talking about how things occurred for the most part and what we know. So the deadliest shooting, the deadliest U.S. school shooting in a decade shakes a rural Texas town. So this is the deadliest shooting that we've had in a school setting since Sandy Hook. Sandy Hook, I believe, was 20, and this one is 21. 19 kids, but I think I want to say it was 19 kids and 1 adult in Sandy Hook. I can't remember, but it was like 20 in Sandy Hook and 21 here. So, Uvalde, Texas, the gunman who killed 19 children and 2 teachers in a rural Texas elementary school on Tuesday entered the building despite being confronted by an armed school officer. Now, this is a question that I've asked. I don't understand how no one has said what this school resource officer did or didn't do. I don't understand that. I can't. They still have not been clear as to what that confrontation, what took place during that confrontation. That's still yet to be released. I don't know why. To my knowledge, I believe that this school security officer is still alive, and why we haven't heard anything about it, it's really strange to me. Thanks, Truth Seeker. He said it was 20 kids and 7 adults at Sandy Hook, plus his mom and himself. Gotcha. So this is like really weird to me that nobody said what happened with this school security officer. And this was an armed school security officer. So I don't get that. But let's keep reading. Then confronted by an armed school security officer, then wounded 2 responding officers and engaged in a standoff inside the school for over an hour, state police officials said. While gaps remain in the timeline of events, details emerged on Wednesday of a protracted scene of carnage at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde. What began around 11:30 a.m. with the first report of an armed man approaching the school ended as specialized officers breached a pair of adjoining classrooms and killed the gunman barricaded inside just after 1 p.m., state police officials said. It is not known how many were killed in the first minutes of the massacre, which was the deadliest in an American school since the 26 educators were shot to death at Sandy Hook in Newton, Connecticut in 2012. So that was, 10 years ago. All right, but officials said that the officers had successfully contained the gunman, identified as Salvador Ramos, until more specially trained officers could arrive. Yet, even as the details of the attack became more clear, the motivation behind the eruption of violence remained frustratingly opaque. In the absence of an explanation, there was only deep grief in a community unaccustomed to outside attention and raw renewal of the national debate over firearms legislation. Yeah. This, yeah. And the stupefying tally of gun violence in America. By Wednesday, all of the victims had been identified by officials who had yet to release their names, but the toll of the tragedy was only beginning to take shape. All 21 fatalities occurred in a single area of the school, the authorities said. That included Eva Morales, a teacher who ran marathons in her free time, and Jalea Sigliero, 10, the youngest of 4 children. Yeah. I can't believe this happened to my daughter, said the father, Jacob Sigliero, crying during an interview. It's always been a fear of mine to lose a kid. I totally get that. President Biden said he would travel to Uvalde in the coming days to try to comfort the residents. He did not call on Congress to take up gun safety legislation, but in remarks on Wednesday, he said that the Second Amendment is not absolute. And the previous gun safety laws did not violate its constitutional protections. These actions we've taken before. They save lives, he says. They can do it again. How? God dang it. How? I don't understand how they are trying to say that gun laws will prevent this. And this is my thing with that. I don't understand. And somebody, please, if you can explain it to me better, I'll be more than happy to listen if it makes sense. But how is it that cocaine is illegal? It's illegal. Heroin is illegal, right? However, we still have cokeheads, we still have crack, we still have heroin addicts that are out here in our country today. It's illegal. You can't get it legally nowhere in the United States of America. But we still have addicts. We still have people that abuse those very same drugs. Fentanyl, illegal, still getting it. People are dying from it and they're still using it. Methamphetamine, illegal, can't have it, can't make it, but people are still using it. And I don't understand how, with the laws that are in place, why are there still drugs based on that logic? They're trying to tell you that if we had more laws, more gun laws, stricter gun laws, that this wouldn't happen. And it's a bold-faced lie. There is actually statistical evidence that proves that it's a lie, but they still say this. It's just a false narrative. And I don't understand why people are even listening to this and allowing these politicians to keep repeating this, knowing that it's not true. We have plenty of things that are illegal in this country that people still have access to. You know who gets access to them? Criminals. That's who. Why you think and why people are trying to make it seem as though if there was a law in place, this wouldn't happen. It's one of the most insulting. You talking about just slapping the face insults. It's insulting to tell people, the mass people, the people of this country, that is the problem. When only reason that they're trying to even do this is so that they can say, I was the one that came up with stricter gun laws so I can keep Americans safe. Because they know that's a hot button. They know that that's a trigger phrase. They know that's one of the things that people care about. I want to be safe. Well, I'm the guy who can do it for you. Bullshit. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that can stop these types of things from happening. Why? Because if you can't get it legally, you will get it illegally. Period. Cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine. You can't have it. We'll go to jail for it. However, I'm on my way, Amanda. However, you can still get it and use it and abuse it. Now, how come these very same politicians that are talking this stuff now, including our president,
Have you noticed that they don't say anything about these stricter gun laws when a shooting like this occurs in these blue states with those very same strict gun laws? Like Chicago. Chicago blames everybody else about their gun violence except for themselves. Oh, the reason why we have so much gun violence in Chicago is because of Indiana. What? How you figure that? Same thing in Buffalo, New York. Mass shooting in Buffalo, New York. Nothing. Crickets. 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 It's one of those things to where it makes no sense. And even if you did not get the gun legally, you can get it illegally, which would mean the same thing. The people who are shooting the mass shootings that are occurring in Chicago every weekend, every day, those people are using illegal guns. They are obtaining those firearms illegally. So what makes you think that a gun law, a new gun law, a gun this law, a gun that law would then change that? Just saying. It makes no sense. John says, see, and this is the thing I don't understand. Why people just disregard facts and just speak from emotion just to say something. So John Lewis says, do I have a misconception though? He is sort of comparing 17 kids dying in a month opposed to 19 dying in 20 minutes in a single classroom. Shooter brought the gun last week on his 18th birthday. Oh, so you're just trying to stop kids from dying in 20 minutes instead of kids that die in 20 days. Do you hear how stupid that is? Do you hear how stupid that sounds? You're more concerned about kids dying in minutes as opposed to kids dying over the same amount of time. Same 17 kids that died in 20 minutes. If that's true, whatever, we don't know what the time frame was, is the same kids, 17 kids that died in 3 weeks. You're saying that regardless of them dying the same way, which was by gun violence, those 20 that died, the 17 that died in the classroom in 20 minutes, that's the bigger problem. You're a fucking idiot. The shooter just bought the gun legally last week on his 18th birthday. Kid doesn't even have a driver's license. What if he bought the gun illegally? What would be the point? Meth is killing 19 fourth graders in 20 minutes. What's the point? Y'all people are sick. Goodbye. You didn't have to announce your departure, sir. There is no fucking difference, you dumbass. A dead kid is a dead kid. If I got a kid that gets shot in the head and a kid that gets shot in the chest, is that a fucking difference? No. If I get a kid that gets shot in a classroom and a kid that gets shot in a grocery store, is that a fucking difference? No. I don't care if it's 2 or if it's fucking 20. I'm so sick of these motherfuckers coming with these idiotic fucking ideas that somebody else put in their head and they just running with it. They just run with it. You have no idea of what you're even saying. You're just saying some shit because you heard it on fucking CNN or you heard it from some fucking politician's mouth. There is no fucking difference, you dumbass. 20 minutes opposed to 20 days is the difference. I don't want no kids dying, you dumb son of a bitch.
Look at you dumb son of a bitch.
You dumb son of a bitch.
What are you saying? You see how people are fucking stupid? And this is why you can't really have conversations with people because they don't even listen to what they're saying before they say it. If I tell you in 2020, 478 kids died to gun violence in that year, are you going to say, well, how many of them died in 20 minutes? Or are you going to say, wow, that's fucked up, 478 kids dead? If 478 kids died in 1 week and 478 kids died in 1 year, are you telling me that's a fucking difference, you dipshit? It's unfucking believable. But this is the type of shit that I'm talking about when you got dumbasses listening to fucking people who don't live this shit. You listening to people who don't live in these communities. You listening to people who ain't never been around this type of violence. That's the kind of shit you get. It makes no sense. Why would I be saying that there's a difference between the kid, not the way that they died, but the fact that these died in a shorter time frame than these? Oh, so that's what we're debating now. It's idiotic. So fuck them other kids that died. Fuck the little girl who got shot in the car with her dumbass daddy who just so happened to be going to McDonald's. Fuck that little girl. She just died. We need to be more concerned about these kids dying in the school. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. This is why I consistently do what it is that I do. And this is why I don't entertain fucking trolls and people that cannot articulate themselves. This is why. Because when you drop fucking facts, when you drop the straight facts, they have no response to it. All they come up with is some more stupid shit to say that they heard somebody else say. Because if they thought of it themselves and didn't rationalize what it is that they're saying, then it would make it even worse. Who has been around a mass shooting in a school? I don't know anyone. Man, let me go on with my show. Let me just go on with my show so that I can make sure I get my point across, because this is exactly what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. But it is what it is. By Wednesday, all of the victims have been identified. Yep. All right, there we go. Let me keep on scrolling down to lose a kid. Yep. And then Biden said the shit he said, they can do it again. Still, with little apparent opening at the federal levels, states controlled by Democrats moved to introduce their own changes. In New York, Governor Kathy Hochul said she would work to raise to 21 at minimum the age for buying AR-15 style weapons like the one the Texas gunman used in California. The state Senate advanced a bill along party lines. So she's going to now raise the age from 18 to 21. My question would be this. Can an 18-year-old still get an illegal firearm? Can a 16-year-old get an illegal firearm? You see what I mean? What's the point? Because last time I checked, New York had some of the, if not the strictest gun laws in the fucking country. Only people they want to have guns in New York are the fucking police, the politicians, and the gangbangers. That's it. That's it. But yet and still, how many got shot and killed in Buffalo? That's all I'm saying. You said, Jay Luther said, who has been around this kind of violence was your question. That wasn't my question. I didn't ask that question. I never said, who's been around this kind of violence? I've never said that. I never said that. But let me go ahead and move on, because, man, makes no sense, man, I tell you. Yeah. This state is leaning in, Mr. Newsom. Gavin Newsom proposed, this is that gun line. I mean, whatchamacallit. Let me finish. Let me go back because I missed that. AR-15 style, like use it. The state Senate advanced a bill along party lines proposed by Governor Gavin Newsom, a motherfucker who don't like to follow the rules, right? And modeled on Texas. Restrictive abortion law that would let private citizens sue those who make or sell outlawed ghost guns, ghost gun kits, and assault style weapons. The state is leaning in, Mr. Newsom said. We're leaning forward. Do you hear these fucking bullshit ass words that these phrases that they're saying? We're leaning in. In Uvalde, top Texas officials gathered for an emotional news conference that began with calls for unity in the aftermath of the killing. It is intolerable and unacceptable to have in this state anybody who would kill little kids in our schools, said Governor Greg Abbott, who has celebrated the loosening of gun regulations in Texas and pushed for a new law last year that allows most Texans to carry a gun without a permit, along with the 22 other states that are doing it. Just saying. All right, let's keep going. But the somber tone that Mr. Abbott sought to strike was upended by Beto O'Rourke, the Democrat challenging Mr. Abbott's reelection, who blamed the governor for the repeated carnage in the state. The time to stop the next shooting is right now, and you're doing nothing, Mr. O'Rourke said. Sit down, you're out of line, and an embarrassment, the Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick said. The interruption and resulting vitriol from the stage, filled almost entirely with Republican officials, revealed in an instant the entrenched battle lines of gun ownership and mass killings in the United States. Man, this is ridiculous. And I'm gonna actually play what the fuck this dude said and the way that he acted. Let's go ahead and let's look into that right now. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, crap. That is not what I'm trying to do. Dang it. All right, hold on. Let me fix it. Oh, that ain't it. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to play this one. That's what we'll do. We'll just do it this way.
I've talked to the parents. I've talked to the parents in El Paso. I've talked to the parents at Santa Fe High School. I've talked to the parents in Midland, Odessa. They want us to do something right now. I want us to do something right now. We can do something right now. But if we continue to accept this, then it is on us. It's not just the governor's fault. It is on us. I'm not going to accept it. So I'm here. I'm calling attention to this, and I'm asking all Texans of good conscience, and I could care less whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, or an independent, to stand up right now for yourself, for your kids, for our families, and to stop the next shooting just like this one.
And what do you say?
Now listen, they ask him flat out.
18-year-old kid who doesn't have a driver's license can't buy a
He should not have been able to buy an AR-15 right there. Do you want a solution? Stop selling AR-15s in the state of Texas.
So stop selling AR-15s in the state of Texas. Stop selling AR-15s in the state of Texas. How? How do you do that? Stop selling cocaine in the state of Texas. Can you do that? Stop selling heroin in the state of Texas. Can you do that? Those are all illegal right now, and they're still being sold, aren't they? It's impossible. There are too many guns in America alone to ever get rid of them. You can actually print them and make them. So no matter what you say as far as you can't have this, you can't have that, any person that is going to commit a crime will get the same gun illegally. It makes no sense. So when people say that, it's stupid as fuck. It just is. And the only people that are going to abide by that law are your law-abiding citizens. The people who will not buy AR-15s because they're illegal to sell are the people who abide the law and don't do stupid shit like this guy did. So that's a fact. That there is no, well, it depends on how you look at it. And if you take this, nope, that's the fact. Just like the people who sell drugs, they know it's illegal and they do it anyway. Even though drugs are illegal in this country and they're illegal to sell in this country, we still have people that do it. You know who does it? The fucking criminals. You know who's going to go shoot up a fucking whatever? A fucking criminal. Period.
You want a solution? Have universal background checks. We don't have them. You want a solution?
Universal background checks. That's been one of the main talking points for people who want to say this gun control, this is how we stop it. They want to pass a universal gun. There are background checks already that occur. You go right now and buy a gun, there's a background check that is performed. Period. They want a universal background check, and they want to do that so that they can get a universal gun registry. They want to have it to where everybody's gun can be registered that are law-abiding citizens, because the only people that will register their guns are the ones who purchase them legally. Everyone else that gets their guns with the serial numbers filed off, or they get them illegally off the streets, they already got bodies on them or whatever the fuck they do, those people will not register their guns. Once they get a gun registry, then the next thing will be a gun confiscation, also known as a gun buyback, which would literally take all of the guns out of the hands of who? The law-abiding citizens. So the people that are committing the crimes still have not been addressed. There still has not been a single point of legislation that has been put into place or even proposed to stop the criminals from committing crimes. Just saying. So that second one that they always say, I just debunked that. I'm now 2 for 2. Let's go.
Flag laws or extreme risk protection orders which stop a shooting before it happens. You want to...
A red flag law. You know what a red flag law is? A red flag law is if you and your girlfriend get into an argument and y'all break up, she can then contact law enforcement and tell them that you threatened her. Tell law enforcement that you threatened her or that she think you gonna try to kill her. And then that means that the law enforcement will be able to get a court order to come and take all your guns. And then you got to go to court to try to get them back. Try. That's what a red flag law is. Anybody without any evidence, with strictly hearsay, can just red flag you, and then you will get your guns confiscated. Not an investigation, confiscated. That means they will come, knock at your door. Hello, Mr. Redmond, we're here to take your guns. We have a person who has put you on the red flag list, and you will now have to go to court in order to get your guns back. Now, let's just say I am a crazy motherfucker and I'm going to kill my girlfriend. If y'all come and take my guns, I won't kill her with mine. I'll go get one off the streets, won't I? That's number 3.
Solutions, safe storage laws. Those are 4 solutions that have been brought up by the people of Texas. Safe storage laws. Those are... Texas, you want a solution? Have universal background checks. We don't have them. You want a solution? Red flag laws or extreme risk protection orders which stop a shooting before it happens. You want a solution? Safe storage laws. Those are 4
safe storage laws. That means you got to store your gun in a fucking safe with a lock or some shit like that on it at all times. How does that stop this shit from happening? It doesn't. It's all bullshit. That's just like me saying you can stop gangbanging by having anti-gangbanging laws. What? You could stop drunk driving by having anti-drinking and driving laws. Well, we do, but people are still doing it. Yeah, but what you could do, it makes no sense. People that are going to commit crimes will do just that.
Just saying. Money Moore says, not sure having to build a gun is a lot rarer than just buying it off the streets. Nope. And I like the fact that you mentioned that. And I'm going to debunk that one. Here's the thing. If I can make a gun, think a little bit past what it is and go and look at what the big picture will be. Just come up to look at it from like a 30,000 foot view. It's not that every person who can't get a gun legally will then go and make a gun. No, it means that the people who know how to print guns would print guns to sell illegally. That's what that means. Can you imagine if there were no more guns, what the price of a fucking gun would be to be sold on the street? It would be almost like selling crack on the streets. To be able to get a ghost gun or a 3D printed gun, they would be at a fucking premium. People would be buying them like fucking hotcakes. They'd be standing in line in front of bandos like they're waiting on the Jordans to come out to buy them. If you would have people literally with fucking their houses and their basements filled up with fucking 10 or 15 3D printers printing fucking gun parts and selling them as fast as they can print them. People would be getting the guns and they would still be warm from the fucking 3D printer if that was the case. And I would take a 3D printed gun over a High Point any day. Then they would say, we're going to ban 3D printers. Okay, so now the 3D printing folks are now doing it illegally, just like the drug dealers. How would you know? We're going to start a 3D printer registry. Okay, so I just won't register mine. We're going to make 3D printers illegal. Okay, I'll just get them illegally. Just what it is. That's how things work. What happened with Prohibition? They banned alcohol. Who got rich? The fucking liquor barons. People were running molasses. People were running liquor across state lines, getting liquor and booze from fucking Canada, bringing it right on into the States, making a fucking mint. People did not stop drinking. You dumb son of a bitch.
Okay, you dumb son of a bitch. You dumb son of a bitch.
Thank you. There would be no Joe Kennedy if it wasn't for Prohibition. Just saying. That's where they made their money. Wouldn't have been no Bobby and Jack and John getting in where they fit in, being one of the richest fucking families, one of the most powerful families in the fucking world. There wouldn't have been none of them if they couldn't make illegal booze and make a fucking mint off of it. Nobody went and seized their funds after they said, hey, you made all of this money illegally. They didn't, did they? Nope. It's stupid.
Four solutions that have been brought up by the people of Texas. Each one of those has broad bipartisan.
And when he says the people of Texas, he's talking about his fucking political buddies and his fucking anti-gun groups. That's it. He's not talking about everybody in Texas. You know why he's not talking about everybody in Texas? Because everybody in Texas, as far as the majority is concerned, we want our guns. He's fucking lying. He says this every time. Go back and look at all of his videos talking about guns. He always starts out with, I talk to the people. I talk to the mothers. I talk to them. And you're goddamn right we're going to take your guns. That's all he wants to do. His solution is we take guns from all the law-abiding motherfuckers and make them victims to the criminals. He's a fucking asshole and a douchebag. All he's doing is trying to further his political career. The fact that he crashed this fucking press conference while there were family members who actually had victims that were there, it's a fucking embarrassment and a disgrace. He should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself.
support right now. We could get that done if we had a governor who cared more about the people of Texas than he does his own political career or his fealty to the NRA. And if you need any proof of that, check the schedule for the NRA's convention this Friday right here in the state of Texas. 5 of the worst mass shootings in U.S. history right in this state on his watch. What does he do about it? He goes to the NRA convention to brag about how easy he has made it to purchase guns in this state and to carry them publicly without a background check, without any training or vetting.
That's a fucking lie. There is no publicly without a background check. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. I'm sorry. And nobody's saying, hey, wait, man, that's a lie, dude. Nobody's saying it.
Whatsoever. It is absolutely wrong. In fact, it is insane. The governor talks about mental health. It is insane that we allow an 18-year-old to go in and buy an AR-15. What the hell did we think he was going to do with that? This one is on us.
And what do you say to Texas?
What the hell did he think he was going to do with that? Probably use it like the rest of the other 18-year-olds who aren't fucking mass shooters. Look at the numbers of how many 18-year-olds have done this and how many 18-year-olds that have purchased firearms, purchased AR-15s that haven't done this. So now every 18-year-old that purchases a fucking AR-15 is going to go shoot up a school? You dipshit. You see what I mean? How disingenuous that is to make those kind of statements? You ain't doing nothing but being a fucking fearmonger. You're just trying to sell fear, trying to get people afraid so that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do when it comes to laws. Meanwhile, living in your fucking ivory tower. Meanwhile, living in your fucking gated community. Meanwhile, getting your own fucking escorts with armed security. That's what the fuck you do. Let me see Beto O'Rourke in fucking Oak Cliff. Let me see Beto. When we gonna see all of these motherfucking politicians that talk all this gun shit? When we gonna see them in the high gun violence areas? Let me see motherfucking Governor Pritzker in the fucking Wild Hunteds on a fucking Friday night in July. You know where he's going to be in July? Governor Pritzker, the fucking governor of Illinois, he's going to be on his fucking yacht at night instead of being in fucking Inglewood. He's going to be on his fucking yacht instead of being in the Wild Hunteds. He's going to be on his fucking yacht instead of being in the inner cities where people are getting shot. He ain't trying to stop no goddamn gun violence. And it's the same thing all around. Every last one of these motherfuckers that talk this shit, yeah, we got to stop this. We got to do something. We got to get the congressman. None of them motherfuckers go in the hood when the hood be hot. None of them. 7 people get shot at a nightclub. You don't see Beto O'Rourke down there. Right, Blexit. J.B. Pritzker be in Florida just like he was during COVID. Shut down the city and then left on a fucking yacht, him and his family. Gone for a month. Running the state from Florida. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? Just think about that. The country was in an uproar because Senator Ted Cruz went on a family vacation during a blizzard that occurred. Well, it wasn't a blizzard, but during a snowstorm that occurred here in Texas. They said he should have been here. This man has no control. Senator Ted Cruz has no control over the light and power company, the power company, none whatsoever. Has no power, cannot make them do a goddamn thing. But they said he should be in the city. He should have been in the state instead of on vacation with his family. This motherfucker, Governor Pritzker, went on a fucking yacht with his family after he shut down the city. The state. Put the state on lockdown. Him and his family went to Florida where it wasn't no fucking lockdown and balled out of control. Kicked it. Party. That's the kind of fucking country we live in. People just get to say whatever the fuck and nobody stops and says, well, wait a minute. That don't make no fucking sense.
Greg Abbott says now is not the time to make this political.
Now is the time to stop the next shooting.
You see what he said? Now is not the time to make this political, dude. Why couldn't you just take a minute? Just take a minute and just be there for the families.
Why couldn't you just take a minute and let the families say what they need to say and let that whole thing go by and then bring your punk ass outside and make your statement like you make it now? But you know, he couldn't do it. He had to be an asshole.
Right after Santa Fe High School was the time to stop the next shooting. Right after El Paso was the time to stop the next shooting. Right after Midland, Odessa was the time to stop the next shooting. And in each case, we say this isn't the time. Now is the time, like literally right now.
Here's the problem to what you're saying, sir. There is no way to stop it. You're literally taking a fucking guess and you're bringing a bunch of unfounded, unproven ideas. AR-15s have been banned. School shootings or mass shootings still occur. So what are you talking about? I tell you what you're talking about. Your own political agenda. You want to try to be the gun control guy.
That's why I'm here. That's what we want as a state. That's what I want as a parent. I've got 3 kids who are in high school and middle school and elementary school.
And I guarantee you, they're all private schools. I guarantee you this motherfucker's kids are all in private schools.
That's what they want. And I face their judgment and my conscience and ultimately my maker for what I do when I have the chance to change this. And
if you really are going to hold yourself accountable to what you do, and you really are, you know, a Christian as you're claiming to be, then why would you lie, sir? Because the last time I checked, that's against the 10 Commandments. You sitting here just saying some shit, and you sitting here lying about some shit. You're saying things that aren't true. You're saying things that are provenly not true. They have been proven to be to where they're not true, but yet instead you talk about you a Christian. Bullshit.
I'm going to do everything in my power to change this, and I am not alone. The majority of Texas is with us on this right now.
That's another fucking lie. There is no majority of Texas that's saying this. He keeps saying it, trying to make it true.
The majority of Texas is not reflected by that governor or those people around the table who talk about mental health care or say that this is pure evil or that it was absolutely unpredictable. This is predictable. It will happen and it will continue to happen.
He said that this is predictable. So if this is predictable, he should be able to tell us when this is going to happen again. Just saying. Just saying. This is ridiculous that he's able to just get on here and say this without being challenged, and people just won't say shit about it.
Until we change course. We've got to change course.
This time, after all the other times you failed to make changes.
You're listening to Beto.
And he's not doing a goddamn thing to like really impact or change something in the streets. He's literally just saying some shit so that he can introduce more laws. No proven data to say this will fix it. It happened in this state. Nothing. Because there is no state that has been able to say, yeah, this is how we stopped it. You can't. It's fucking ridiculous that he's able to just get on here and just say this and people don't say a goddamn thing about it. Just won't say anything about it. Won't say, hey, man, wait a minute, dude. This is what I wanted to show you all. Where is this video? Why is this video not playing? I don't know. Hang on. There you go. That should be it. Huh. I can't get this video to play. That's weird. Oh, wait. Let me try it this way. Ah, it can't be open because there's something wrong with it. Okay. All right. That's why it's not playing. Okay. Let's do this. Let me go back and we can go actually to the next one. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just go to the next one because that one's more important. And that was just showing basically how Beto O'Rourke just interrupted their fucking press conference to say, you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. And yeah, bullshit. But let's move to this next one. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you like this. This was one of those things
I'm not going to talk about basketball. Nothing's...
Y'all know I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. And when I saw this, I'm literally done with Steve Kerr. I'm done with Steve Kerr. In my personal opinion, motherfuck Steve Kerr. The fact that he did this goes to show that he is literally just out here being a fucking puppet. Dude, you are a basketball coach in the NBA, and the only thing that you good for is shooting threes and coaching well put together super teams. That's it. That's the only thing you can do. All this other political shit, you need to shut the fuck up, dude, and sit down somewhere. Because listen to what this dude says and how he himself does the same shit that O'Rourke did. Same shit. Just literally turn this situation into some political bullshit as opposed to, as he started out, this is about the families. He just makes some shit up and then he says the same shit. Listen.
Happened with our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. Since we left shoot-around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here. And a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed.
Now let me ask you this. I'm just saying. Have y'all not seen Steve Kerr since these shootings have happened? Has he not done debriefings after his games? They in the playoffs. He sure didn't stop the press and just make his statement that he about to make now when those niggas died at Top's grocery store. He didn't. He didn't. He ain't had shit to say about it. He ain't had shit to say about that shit when that other motherfucker did that shit at that Asian church. He didn't have shit to say about it. But now all of a sudden, he got something to say about it. That shit that happened in Buffalo, New York, his ass was in the playoffs. His ass got up and talked, and he didn't say shit. This is why all these motherfucking basketball players, football players, all y'all motherfuckers, I'm telling you, all you athletes and all you celebrities, if y'all don't really know this shit and y'all can't really speak on this, shut the fuck up and do your job. Really. I'm not trying to be one of them just shut up and dribble type of motherfuckers, but if you gonna speak, at least be educated on what you speaking about instead of just repeating some fucking bullshit ass hot fucking quotes that you've heard other motherfuckers say. It's ridiculous.
In Southern California, and now we have children murdered at school. When are we gonna do something?
Listen to him.
I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of the, excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power.
To hold on to power. What is he talking about? Holding on to what power? You see what I mean? Because you got 50 senators. How do you know that? And let's say you do get 50 senators who saying, hey, this is a violation of motherfucking the fucking very thing that we got together and formed this country on. This is in direct violation with that. Now he's acting like he's really fucking emotional for a second, didn't he? Now watch how he just goes into his political fucking points. Listen.
So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything.
You just had Mitch McConnell on your mind, huh? You just had Mitch McConnell on your mind. Just in all of this emotional, this is such bullshit. All this emotional thing that you going through right now, what comes to mind, fuck the families, fuck the kids, you thinking about Mitch McConnell. This is all Mitch McConnell's fault. I urge you, Mitch. Like he know this motherfucker. It's bullshit, man.
About the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? because that's what it looks like.
So he's saying, and this is why I'm like done with fucking Steve Kerr. He's saying that there is legislation that would stop this. Sounds just like Beto O'Rourke. He's trying to imply that these people that have been dying is because these people aren't passing this law. Like this law is just a magical fix-all to everything. This fixes everything. That lets me know he didn't go through this and know. He don't even know what the fuck is in that law. He don't even know what's in it. He just wants somebody to say, we signed this law it's now we signed this law, this bill into law, and now everybody got to turn in their guns. Like all of the criminals are going to do that, you dumb son of a bitch. Really? That's what you're saying? Like everybody's just now going to say, okay, we're all turning our guns now because there's a registry and there's universal background checks, and now they taking all our guns. They say they're illegal. Once we turn in all our guns, the criminals going to do the same thing. We going to be home free, y'all. This is why I don't like celebrities and don't like fucking athletes that run their mouth about shit they don't know, that they don't know about. And people try to talk, well, this is like it was back in the 70s with the civil rights activists and all that. Let me tell you something. Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the shit they talked about, they actually knew about it. Bill Russell talked about fucking race and discrimination and shit because he was getting discriminated against. The motherfucker was getting put out of fucking hotels just because he was black. That's some shit he knew about. That's some shit he personally experienced. So yes, he could talk about that. Muhammad Ali, same thing. Ain't no Viet Cong ever called him nigga. He knew what the fuck he was talking about. I'm not going to fight no Viet Cong because I don't have no beef with no Viet Cong. Makes sense, you stupid motherfuckers. But all y'all want to do is just keep saying there's a law that can stop this. Boy, get the fuck out of here. That's why when people was talking all that shit about Black Lives Matter is like the modern day civil rights movement, man. Nope. Black Lives Matter was a fucking real estate scam. That's what the fuck it was. And all you dumbass niggas fell for the shit. You motherfuckers are the first ones to just go off onto some bullshit and say, yeah, that's what it is. That's what they told us. As opposed to thinking and saying, wait, hold on. Why would we have a law that's gonna still be empowering criminals to do what the fuck they're doing? Who's gonna stop the criminals? Because the criminals don't pay attention to the law. So who's gonna stop them? So yeah, we take all these guns out of these law-abiding citizens' hands. Y'all tell me what we gonna do about the criminals. Because last time I checked, criminals are the ones that commit crimes. Well, he was able to buy that gun last weekend and was able to use it this weekend. Oh, okay. So the fact that he was able to legally buy the gun is the problem. So if he bought the gun illegally, then what would be the problem? They won't ever answer that shit. Never, ever, ever, never. Well, we got to stop the gun manufacturers from making guns. Oh, so then when people start making guns illegally, then who's going to stop them? Andy, now you done went Amos and Andy on me and shit. Andy, Black Wall Street. Shout out to my boy Tommy. I miss you, brother. It makes no fucking sense. You telling me that we need to come up with all these wonderful fucking laws that don't work in any of the other states, but you're saying that this is going to work. How? This is stupid. And all they want to do is make fucking law-abiding citizens, which is the greater majority of the fucking country, they want to make you fucking victims and they want to make you fucking sheep. That's it. We don't want nobody fighting back against us, the politicians, or the criminals. Steve Kerr, you live in a fucking mansion. You live in a fucking gated community. You live in a fucking place where none of this will ever touch you, sir.
So don't go fucking telling other people what they need to do when you ain't living it. Get your ass in the hood, then you can tell me about what we need to do to stop gun violence. Till then, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out my face.
It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, you know? Come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. Do you realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background?
That's a fucking lie. And he keeps saying it. You know who we heard it from? Probably Beto. Probably Beto. That's probably who he heard the shit from. Exactly, Wolf Bear. I'm glad Jordan stole on his motherfucking ass. You need another black eye. Where's Mike when you need him? Please, please, Black, come and hit this motherfucker in his other eye. It makes no sense. This $45 million, this is his net worth, this $45 million motherfucker is talking about us. Ain't no us, motherfucker. You rich. Fuck out of here. This shit'll never touch you and your kids. Never. It's fucking ridiculous. You acting like you all fucking into this shit and your punk ass don't even live. You don't even live near violence, motherfucker.
90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want.
How does he know that? How does he know that? How does he know that? Do you understand what these people are saying and nobody's saying? Like, wait, hold on. How you know that, Steve? Can you please explain that? Can you please explain that? How do you know that, Steve? You ain't doing shit but coaching, making $5 million a year off your $25 million contract, motherfucker. You ain't doing shit but coaching. How do you know what the American people want, what the American people are trying to vote for? How do you know that, sir? You don't. You're just repeating some shit that somebody had told you. Lying motherfuckers.
They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power.
What power do they lose by passing this? What power do they lose? None. He's just literally saying some shit that he was told at a fucking ritzy fucking dinner or some ritzy fucking benefit or some bullshit fundraiser that somebody told him at a table one day. That's what the fuck he's up here repeating. Steve Kerr, you're a piece of shit, man. And you should stick to fucking coaching your dream team and fucking playing basketball, dude. We don't need you speaking on shit you don't know about. You want to talk about how to shoot a fucking three-pointer? You want to talk about being an accurate three-point shooter? You want to talk about getting hit in the fucking eye by Michael Jordan? I'm all ears. Other than that, shut the fuck up, man. Please, do us all a favor.
It's pathetic. I've had enough.
Now you've had enough, and we've had enough of you. We have had enough of you, sir. Jesus fucking Christ.
Our KHOU 11 Investigates team is tracking how this all unfolded. We're joined by Jeremy Rogowski. And Jeremy, the big questions for people right now, what do we know about the gunman and how he got his weapon?
Well, Ron, state officials say Salvador Ramos was a high school dropout with no known adult criminal history, and he bought the guns legally just last week, the week of his 18th birthday. Salvador Ramos purchased an AR platform rifle from a local gun store last Tuesday, 375 rounds of ammunition Wednesday, and another AR-style rifle Friday, according to the ATF. Yesterday morning, officials said Ramos posted 3 messages on Facebook, the only known warning of what was to happen.
I'm going to shoot my grandmother. I shot my grandmother. I'm going to shoot an elementary school.
Officials say the
Now, let me make my other big point for the night. Ain't it something how you couldn't post shit? Hear me. Ain't it something how you couldn't post shit on social media, on Facebook in particular, about the coronavirus? You couldn't post shit on literally could not post it at all. Instantly taken down. You can't post shit about the coronavirus. You couldn't post shit about the vaccines. You couldn't post shit about Joe Biden. You couldn't post shit about Hunter Biden and his fucking laptop. Instantly flagged, taken down, and/or post removed with a fucking threat. But you can post, I just killed my mama, my grandmama. I'm about to go kill some other kids. I just killed some kids. I'm on my way to the school. I just killed a motherfucker, and now I'm about to go kill some more motherfuckers. How is it that that don't get flagged? How is it that that don't get sent to the police? But all that other shit that you want to post, that's actually arguable. There's actually proven data against the virus, against the shot, against all this other shit, against Joe Biden, against Hunter Biden. You can't post that. Instantly taken down, but there's an algorithm that won't pick up. I'm about to kill my grandmama. I'm about to kill my mama. I'm about to shoot my girlfriend in the face. I'm about to go to a school and shoot up a bunch of kids. Don't nobody get that? There's no algorithm for that? Ain't that something? I literally had to stop posting on fucking Facebook because shit was getting flagged for no fucking reason. I said, man, let me let this shit go. You can't say words on YouTube. You can't say certain posts on Instagram. You can't say certain posts on Twitter because your shit will get taken down instantly. I couldn't say, right, Trump won, taken down, flagged. This nigga Tommy will put a poster, a picture of him eating dinner, flagged. Nigga asks a question on fucking Facebook, flag. Facebook jail instantly. Y'all watching that shit. But this dude gets on here and literally posts, wait till tomorrow, motherfuckers. I'm going to shoot my mama. I just shot my mama. I'm about to go shoot this school up. And nothing. Just like the dude who was streaming on Twitch that shot them people at the grocery store. Nothing. Ain't that about a bitch? All this other shit that y'all don't like, this political shit that we should be able to talk about because of freedom of speech, we can't post that because you get flagged instantly. There was a time when you couldn't even make a post saying anything that said Corona in it. I couldn't even say I was drinking a Corona beer, flag. If I say I got shot, flag. It's misinformation. Based on our new community guidelines, you can't say that. It makes no sense. Somebody literally announcing that you're killing people. We couldn't say Wuhan. We couldn't say China virus. It was so much shit we could not say without being instantly flagged. They stopped a stream because you was talking about Corona. Flagged. But I can get on here and tell you that I'm about to kill some people, that I just killed some people, and I'm about to go kill some more people. Not a goddamn thing. It's insane, dude. Nobody's asking that question. Where the fuck was Facebook? Nobody's saying that. Nobody's asking where's Facebook at. Nobody's saying how come Facebook didn't report this to the authorities. The dude literally said, wait until tomorrow. I'm about to shoot my grandmother. Nothing. Then came back and said, I'm about to go shoot up the school. Nothing. It's unfucking believable. But motherfuckers just get on here and talk about what we need to do. We need to vote for this. We need to get that down. We need to come up with more laws. We need to come up with more bans. We need to ban this, take this. We need to get all this. Everything that a law-abiding citizen can do, we need to stop it. Because that'll stop this. Bullshit.
Grandmother was able to call 911 as Ramos drove a few blocks towards Robb Elementary, where he crashed this pickup truck in a ditch about 100 yards away and headed toward his school back door. Authorities say a Uvalde school resource officer briefly confronted Ramos before the suspect went down 2 short hallways and into 2 adjoining classrooms where he shot and...
And why are they still not saying what this confrontation was? What happened? Did he shoot him? Did he shoot at him? What did he do? Hey, stop that. Put them guns down, man. And then ran? Right. David said you couldn't say Wu-Tang, let alone Wuhan. They had algorithms listening to the words you were saying. Algorithms looking at the post you were making. The words in your title. Instantly caught. You can't do this. This content has been taken down. This content has been removed. This content cannot be said. You cannot say this on this platform. You say it again, you will be flagged and your channel will be taken down. That's it.
Killed 19 children and 2 teachers. More police arrived shortly after, and a Border Patrol agent, officials say, killed the suspect. Inside the school, authorities recovered 7 30-round magazines, as well as a backpack with even more ammo just outside the back door.
And according to a law enforcement briefing to state lawmakers, the suspect was wearing a tactical vest, but it did not have any body armor inside that vest. Investigators, meanwhile, still don't have an answer into the biggest question so many are asking: what was the motive for this heinous crime? Reka?
And my thing is, too, how was he able to get in? How was he able to get into the school? It's like we just glaze over all that shit. All of the real questions we glaze over, and all we do is listen to what politicians and fucking celebrities say about what we need to do. The people who live it, the people who have to deal with it, the people who have to confront it. What we need to do is turn in all our guns. That's what we need to do. Well, what about the criminals? Well, don't worry about that. We'll get to that. Let's just get you unarmed first. That's essentially what these motherfuckers are saying. Let's just get the guns out of your hands first. I know you haven't done anything, but I still, just in case you might, I want to take your gun. How did he get the money to buy these guns? The dude was a social misfit. So either mama or grandmama gave him the funds to get the shit. Just like that other kid up in fucking Buffalo, New York. How do these motherfuckers just get the money to buy not one, not two? An AR-15 at bare minimum is $500-$600. Easy. Brand new AR-15 from a gun store is gonna cost your ass $500-$600. Thanks to the inflation, it used to be about $400, but now it's about $600. Basic, nothing on it, just standard fucking gun, $600. How the fuck does a kid buy a gun like that and bring it into the house and don't nobody see it? I got this crazy ass, misfit ass, fucked up minded grandson of mine who just came in here with not one but 2 rifles, and I'm not alarmed. But I can talk shit to him about him not graduating to the point where he just says fuck it and shoots me in the face. Way to go, Grandma. But again, these are the things that people won't say anything about. These are the things that people just refuse to fucking admit and say, hey, wait a minute. This shit did happen this way. It's unbelievable.
We're learning chilling new details about the teenager who carried out the Texas massacre. 18-year-old Salvador Ramos posted messages on social media hinting about his evil plans. Wait till tomorrow when this warning and this, kids be scared, along with photos of 2 assault rifles and a high-capacity magazine. The morning of the massacre, he sent this text to a young woman he knew. You gonna repost my gun pics? She answered, what your guns got to do with me? He replied, I got a little secret I want to tell you. Texas Governor.
Yep, you heard it. So and I'm telling you like this, he wasn't the most popular kid in school, but I'm quite sure somebody saw that message. Oh, but wait. Maybe they didn't because of the algorithm that Facebook puts on people's posts. That's why you don't see all of the posts that all of your friends make, because we have algorithms in place that only puts the most popular people's comments out. So I'll see everything that fucking what's the white boy name? The white boy activist Talcum X, the motherfucker that Tommy called Talcum X. I'll see everything that motherfucker posts. I'll see everything the AOC posts. That's going to hit my timeline regardless. But the people that are actually my friends, I won't see all of their posts because of some special fucking algorithm that fucking shadow bans it. You're not very popular. You're not an influencer. So all of your posts won't get seen. Because maybe, just maybe, if everybody in this dude's friends list saw that post, maybe one person would have sent that to the police. Maybe one person would have called the FBI. Maybe one person would have called law enforcement. Because if they would have, law enforcement is obligated to go and do a temperature check on this motherfucker. And the fact that he made that threat online like that, yes, they should be able to go in there and take his guns. Oh, you just bought these? Yeah, these coming with us, homie. Yeah, Sean King. I see every post Sean King make. You let them old hoes from Fox Love make a fucking post. I'm going to see that. But someone who I've actually selected as to be my friend and is on my friends list, when they make a post, I may or may not see it, depending on what the fucking algorithm thinks of it that day. Every motherfucker on my timeline that posts Black Lives Matter, or every motherfucker on my timeline that posts fucking LGBTQ, LMNOP, EFG, all of that shit will come up on my timeline, but not this. But nobody's saying, what the fuck is up, Facebook? I'll see every fucking post that Joe Biden makes, but I won't see what the fuck my own friend or my own friends list post is making. I won't see that. Nope. I'm going to kill everyone at my job tomorrow at 2 o'clock. 2 people see it. Got 200 friends, but only 2 people see it. I'm going to kill everyone at my school tomorrow. You guys just wait and see. Here are the pictures of my guns. No one sees that because I'm not an influencer and I'm not popular. Not even my friends. He didn't purchase body armor. He only had a plate carrier. It was empty. He didn't have any body armor. Unless if you're talking about this kid. Now, the other kid in Buffalo, he did. Why is no one asking that question? How come Facebook gets to dictate to me what post I see and what post I don't? Because had I seen that, had he been my friend, you let one of my friends post some shit like that, say, yeah, I can't wait to light these motherfuckers up at school tomorrow. They're going to know who the fuck I really am. I'm going to be like, hey, y'all need to send this shit to the police, man. Well, do you think he would do so? I don't know. I think you need to go find the fuck out, though. Maybe follow him to school. Maybe have somebody waiting at the school for his punk ass tomorrow.
Greg Abbott revealed 3 chilling Facebook posts.
He said, I'm going to shoot my grandmother. The second post was, I shot my grandmother. The third post, maybe less than 15 minutes before arriving at the school, was, I'm going to shoot an elementary school.
Here's Jim Murray.
Friends say Ramos was a loner who was bullied at school for a speech impediment and reportedly came from a family troubled by drug addiction. Several months before the massacre, he came to live here with his grandmother, who worked for the school district. He slept on a mattress on the floor.
Joseph Moreno is a neighbor.
Now, let me get to my next point. It would be amazing if Beto O'Rourke, Steve Kerr punk ass, and all the rest of these social justice warriors, it would be amazing if they would put their energy into mental health facilities, into counseling resources to help these people, so that those misfits, those people that are in drug abuse families, could actually have some help and some resources. How about you shaving off a little bit of that $45 million you got there, Steve Kerr, and open up a mental facility instead of another basketball camp? How about that? Since you're so tired, you're banging on the table tired. I'm fed up. I don't want to have a moment of silence. Put your fucking money where your mouth is, dude. How about if Beto O'Rourke put a bill together for all of the senators to sign about opening up the mental health facilities that all of these motherfuckers just silently closed over the past 25, 30 years ago? How about that? Since y'all so concerned, since y'all want this to stop, how about those people that we know that have severe mental health issues, don't have any fucking resources to help them? How about y'all take some of that money and put some of that there instead of sending $40 billion over to the fucking Ukraine? How about we take $4 billion and open up some fucking mental health resources here? How about that? Because clearly this kid was suffering. Clearly this kid was struggling. Clearly there was no resource for this kid that was available to help him in his time of crisis. But the minute a woman kills her kids, the minute a woman kills her husband, the minute a woman kills any fucking body or does any type of heinous crime, first thing out their mouth is, she had mental health issues. She was bipolar. We need to help her instead of locking her up. First thing out of motherfucker's mouth when it's a woman that does it. Woman drives her kids off into the lake. I wonder what was wrong. She must have been really troubled because I just can't believe she would do something like that. She needed help and we didn't help her. First thing out of motherfucker's mouth. Yep, I said mouth. Just saying. Imagine the abuse that this dude had to go through in order for his grandmother to get shot in the face by him. Who the fuck shoots their grandmother in the face? I tell you who. A motherfuckers who had enough of an ain't shit bitch. That's who. That's who. Right. We want to get rid of guns here in America. Meanwhile, we're funding a fucking war in the Ukraine. Bing bang. We want to take all of the guns here in America You're goddamn right. We're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47s, buy a shotgun. We want to take all these motherfuckers' guns away. Meanwhile, we're funding a war in the Ukraine. Oh, but that's okay. They need guns. Oh, but that's okay. They need all of this Similac. They need the baby formula we got over here. They need it, not us. Huh. Stop me when I'm lying. I'm just telling you what we do as a fucking country. That's what we do. Oh, we won't help and open up and give no facilities for our vets. We won't take care of none of our mentally ill, but we'll go and send literally billions of dollars over to the Middle East to help stabilize their country. We got to stabilize the country. We're going to send over our cash to help stabilize their country. That's what we're going to do. We're going to send $40 billion over to the Ukraine to help them because they need help. That's what we're doing. Fuck the people here. Inflation high as it's ever been in 40 years. Everything is up. Gas is about to be $6 a gallon. Fuck opening up the pipeline to Canada so that we can have cheaper gas and be self-sufficient on fuel. No, we'll just let all of the people of America pay because we're going to let the Middle Eastern motherfuckers keep jacking the price up and bending us over a fucking barrel, literally, to get the money that they want, and we'll just keep taxing on it. Everything in America is at an all-time high, and we're sending billions of dollars over to another country to help them, but we ain't helping our own. Beto O'Rourke ain't got shit to say about that, though, do he? Nothing. Fuck the kids that die every weekend in Chicago. Fuck the kids that die every weekend in fucking California. Fuck the kids that die every weekend in Florida. Fuck the kids that die every weekend in New York. We've got to send this money over to whoever the fuck. The national average for gas is $4.29, I think, and higher. That means in butt-fuck whatever country, butt-fuck city, in any part of the most rural parts of the fucking country, gas is at least $4.30. Highest it's ever been. The average. So we can deal with that. And all Biden get up there and say, I know it's tough. I know it's so bad out here. Y'all, we can taste it. What? We can taste it? Motherfucker, I can't taste shit because I can't afford the food because my goddamn grocery bill done fucking doubled. When I moved here in 2018, gas here in Texas, regular, was $1.62. $1.62. Now it's $1.59. And you know what's so funny? Ain't none of these motherfucking Democrats that voted for this shit, that voted these motherfuckers in office, saying a goddamn thing. And I'm going to tell you like this. It's about to get worse. You heard it here first. This real estate market is about to pop again. We about to go into a fucking recession. Everything is costing way more money than it's ever cost before. See, during the pandemic, everything was scarce. Now everything has gone up. Doubled and tripled in price. And now what's going to happen? The economy is going to take a downturn because people are not going to be able to buy the shit that they were buying. And when that happens, what's going to happen? The economy's going to slow down. It's going to come to a fucking grinding halt. And people are going to be broke because, just like Amanda said, her raise ain't even covering what's happening with inflation. So literally that raise means nothing. The raise that you got ain't going to mean shit. And then what's going to happen, because people are going to stop buying shit, crime's going to go up. And then businesses are going to start laying off, starting with retail. You wait until after the holiday. After the fourth quarter of this year, watch how fucked up it get. This whole great reset shit, they mean this shit. And they gonna make all of the motherfucking law-abiding citizens suffer in every shape, form, fashion possible. They want you living on your fucking knees. And you voted for this shit. And yup, thank you, Chef X. Ain't gonna be no more stimulus checks. See, you niggas had it good when they had that epidemic, the pandemic, the plandemic, if you will. You had it good then. They was sending your ass money to stay home, sit on your ass. We gonna send you money. $1,400, $600, $1,400, $600. They were sending it. And your unemployment's extended, and we adding on another $600 to your unemployment. Motherfuckers was literally making more money being at home on unemployment than they were actually going to work. Then they stopped. Summertime came. Everybody's partying right now. Y'all niggas is drinking your liquor and having a good time. You wait until the holidays come around and motherfuckers can't buy shit. You wait until after the holidays when it ain't no more buying season. When it ain't no more, we gonna make it up in the fourth quarter. And when these motherfucking financials start coming back in the first quarter of the year and they start seeing, damn, we ain't making no money, we got to cut. First thing they going to start cutting is labor. The whole, we got to do more with less. That's what's going to happen. And people are going to suffer. People are going to struggle, and people are going to commit way more crimes than they've been committing. Y'all thought crime was high when this shit went down with COVID? Watch how the shit get right back up there again. There's been a slight uptick in crime, not necessarily related to, and you're going to start hearing that bullshit. And you know what they're going to tell you? This wouldn't happen if we got rid of the guns. Right. That's what's going to happen. Let's listen to the rest of this fuck shit.
Did you know that he had guns?
No. No, like I say, he had just turned 18 and he went and bought it. And he told this friend of his, look what I got. And the friend said, hey, bro, what do you need those for? He says, don't worry about it. That was his answer. Don't worry about it.
Kind of gives you chills, doesn't it?
Yes.
Ramos reportedly became obsessed with the video game Call of Duty. School friends told GMA.
Motherfuckers, I was obsessed with Call of Duty until they ruined the fucking game. Call of Duty was a great game. People are obsessed with fucking Fortnite. That's not why this dude went and did what he did. He went and did what he did because he was fucking bullied and he was a fucking outcast. Just like all the other motherfuckers that do this shit. They're all fucking social misfits.
His behavior was increasingly bizarre.
I was going to start being his friend no more because he was being weird with not only me but a lot of other people.
He had scars on his face, and I remember somebody asking him what happened, are you okay? Because he showed up to school with them and he just straight out told them, with a smile, I did it myself.
Forensic psychiatrist.
Nobody said nothing, huh?
Dr. Keith Abloh says Ramos has similar traits to other mass killers, including the teenager accused of the Buffalo supermarket massacre and the Parkland school shooter.
Again, we have a shooter who is socially isolated.
Right, John Nada said, I'm obsessed with Mario Kart, but I don't throw bananas and mushrooms out of my window. Exactly. They're making this about everything but what it actually is. We have a problem with fucking mental health, man. And we don't want to do anything to fix it. Because I'm telling you right now, if that kid was forced to take an admit, and I'm not saying that these kids should have stopped this kid. I'm not saying that. But these kids should have been able to go and tell somebody at their school, tell somebody at their home, and they should have had this kid go for a fucking mental evaluation. You post some shit that's weird as fuck on Facebook, yes, you should have to go see your counselor at school and talk to that counselor. Just saying.
Who has psychological or physical characteristics that marginalize him, who was bullied. That's a prescription for disaster, and it's present in the majority of school shootings.
This video shows graduating seniors from the killer's high school being welcomed by kids at the elementary school. Ramos targeted the school just 3 days later.
The day of the shooting, Ramos had a fight with his grandmother over failing to graduate. She was shot in the face and is in critical condition.
He shot his own grandmother, and from that point just triggered this mass shooting.
If I'm willing to shoot my own grandmother in the face, do y'all really think I give a shit about shooting some kids I don't even know? Really? It wasn't the fact, Lapis, it wasn't the fact that he wasn't bullied. The fact is that when you have these, everybody, and I'm telling y'all like this, and y'all know this, and like I said, if I'm lying, please stop me and tell me and correct me. Everybody, when they were in high school, you know who your outcasts were. You know who your social misfits were. You know who the weirdos were. And you know who the nerds were. You know them. When you're in the lunchroom, you know it because they're either sitting by themselves or they're sitting all together. You know who they are. So it's not like this motherfucker just went undetected. Nope. You know who the fucking weirdos are. You can go and ask any kid that's in high school, hey, let me ask you something. If there was a kid that you thought would be a mass shooter in your school, who would it be? And watch them run off about 5 or 10 names. Because they're all going to say the weirdos. They're all going to say the social misfits. And all I'm saying is this. You will always have those amongst you. But those should be the people that you should have resources for. That should be going to get help. Every fucking weirdo kid that comes in there that scratched his own face, kids should know, I need to tell the counselor about this motherfucker. And there needs to be enough counselors to where they can talk to these kids to at least identify some of them. Exactly. Crazy Mook said they're all going to say the same names. They are, because we all know who they are. I knew who they were in my fucking school. You know who your nerds are. You know who your weirdos are. You know who the kid is that don't talk to nobody, that dress weird and all that kind of shit, but there's nobody who's going to talk and reach out to that kid. There's not going to be a counselor that says, yeah, I was talking to this kid and I was working with him and monitoring his behavior in school, and there was something. Nope. This kid was from a family of drug abusers. His mama wasn't even his guardian. That lets you know that that's an ain't shit bitch who was strung out on drugs or doing some fuck shit her damn self. And they was all probably taking turns abusing this little boy for his whole goddamn life until he just fucking said fuck it. Just saying.
Ramos fled the home in his grandparents' pickup truck, crashing into this gully.
Surveillance video shows him running into the school seconds later. The massacre was about to begin.
Just saying, you know who these motherfuckers are. And and y'all know me. I'm the guy that's going to talk about the points, talk about the issue, and then I'm going to come with the solution. Some of y'all may not like this, but dispute it. Tell me where I'm wrong and point it out. Tell me that I'm lying and I'm incorrect. Let me drop this on you. Imagine if we were all walking around and it was a part of our culture to where those who wanted to could walk around with their guns and it'd be normal. What do you mean, Brian? People can do that now. Well, let me give you an example. Or as my boy Tommy would say, let me explain. There was a time when people walked around with swords. Everybody had a sword. There's a time when people just walked, that it was a part of the culture to just walk around with a sword. I had a sword on me. I carried a sword on me. I carried a knife or a dagger or something like that. I carried it on me. Why? Because if I was somewhere and I needed to kill an animal, if I was somewhere and I needed to kill someone or someone tried to steal from me or tried to attack me, whatever the case may be, I'm on my way, chef, I would have a sword. And as time went on and as society progressed and advancements were made and the evolution of the gun came about, when they came over here and killed all of the Native Americans to take over America, there was a time when everyone carried a gun. Hence the Wild Wild West. Thank you, chef. People were going over when they were settling Deadwood, and people were coming over here from England and settling over in the 13 colonies and all that. All of those people had guns and knives. Everyone carried a gun and a knife. It was a part of our culture. You never know when you go into the trading post if you might run into a gaggle of Indians. Could happen. When you're traveling across the country trying to steal some more land to take for your own, all those people carry guns. They had rifles and they had 6-shooters, revolvers. There was a time when people rode on their horse, and their horse had a rifle case on it, a holster to put your rifle on it. You rode and had your 6-shooter on your hip. You had your revolver here, and you have your rifle right here by the head of the saddle, by the front of the saddle, where your rifle would go. Because you never knew when you might need to shoot a bear. You never knew when a good old-fashioned deer might come across and you want to feed your family and you can shoot the deer. There was a time when that was considered normal. Just was. And even then, even going back to the early 1900s, you had 1800s, you had mass shootings, mass stabbings in schools, churches. It happened. Didn't happen as often, wasn't as frequent, but when everyone carried guns, when it was a part of our culture for people to carry guns, it was something that was normal. Right. People over in Greece, in Troy, Rome, all that stuff, they carried knives, they carried daggers, they carried swords. They did. And as society progressed, they carried guns. The reason why these people go to schools and they go to churches, because they're less likely to encounter someone with a gun, let alone multiple people with a gun. The reason why that kid went to the fucking grocery store and shot all of those people in that grocery store was because there weren't many people there with guns, let alone a rifle. But imagine if they would have. And like I said about the Buffalo shooting, the only way you could have stopped that guy, the only way that guy would have gotten stopped, the only way that I would have engaged that guy, here's what would have had to happen. I would have had to have been coming from the shooting range with my rifle in the trunk. And if I saw that kid get out that car with an AR-15 and start shooting people, if I had my firearm, I wouldn't go and confront that guy because I ain't got on no armor. This kid was in full body armor with a ballistic helmet, and he had a rifle. There's no way I would have went after that kid. However, if I was coming home from the gun range, had my rifle in my case, and saw that kid get out, whether I was leaving the store or getting ready to go into the store, I would have grabbed my rifle and we'd have got it in. I would have got into a tactical position. I would have moved in on that kid tactically because I'm trained to do that. I would have done that and I would have confronted them. Because at the end of the day, when you got that rifle, that AR gonna get through that armor eventually, especially if you got some cheap shit. Just saying. You would have had to have had a rifle to stop that other kid with a rifle. If it was natural and just part of our culture to where people walked around with their rifles on a sling on their back, just hey, that's what we do. Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going, Bob? All's good, man. Or being in the hood. Hey, what's going on, Jermaine? Nothing much, man. I'm just chilling, about to go grab this beer. And then I'm going on back to the crib. I'm gonna get these ribs, throw some ribs on the grill. So I'm up here shopping, and I got my AR in the store on my back, and I hear boom, 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 boom. I'd be like, what the fuck is going on around here? Hey, what's happening? I would have been able to confront that kid. Just saying. These shooters are going after the schools, the churches, the sporting events, the concerts, because those are the places that don't allow guns. That's why they do it. Just saying. You have to have not one person. That's why the security guard at the grocery store lost. You have to have more than one person to confront someone like that. That's how you stop it. You want to stop these mass shootings, have it to where walking around with your AR, have it to where walking around, everybody ain't got to do it, but it's socially accepted to do it. Because I'm telling you right now, if I could go to my church and carry my rifle, I would. I'd go in there, praise the Lord, everybody. Praise the Lord, saints. Set my AR right down there next to my seat. If I can go to my kid's school to visit for the day, I can have my rifle on my back and it's nothing, I would. And I'm sure there are plenty of ex-military, there are plenty of retired police officers, there are plenty of active military, there are plenty of active police officers that would do the same thing. There are plenty of gun enthusiasts that would do the same thing. I'd love to show off my AR. If you had it to where, like I'm saying, not everybody, but to where it's socially accepted, to where people can, especially those that are trained, could carry that, they would. Any of my ex-military, retired military, active military, retired police, law enforcement, or whatever the case may be, if it was okay for you to carry your rifle around, not to say that you would take it everywhere you go, but wouldn't you keep it with you, have it in your car? Just saying. And my thing would be this. I can address that, Shelly. Kids shouldn't be able to purchase an AR-15. You're right. An 18-year-old can. If an 18-year-old can enlist in the Army and go die for this country, he or she should damn sure be able to purchase a firearm. If they can't go to the military, you want to raise the age to purchase an AR-15 to 21, then raise the goddamn age for you to go into the military and die for your country. Or if you do go and serve in the military at 18, you can't go to war until you're 21. You can carry a rifle in your car, Jay Luther, but it's not socially accepted. If I had a lock on my car like the police have with their AR-15s, like how they used to have their shotguns where it locks right there in front of the dash, people would be losing their shit in most places. People would lose their shit. People that do it here, people look at them weird. You got to keep that rifle in a fucking bag, folded up. John, you said that earlier. I didn't see it. You know how it's hard for me to read the damn chat. But I'm just telling you, the culture that we have to where it would be acceptable to carry those type of things, to where people wouldn't be scared, people wouldn't be calling the police, it would keep those people to say, well, hey, hold on now. This guy's walking around with an AR-15. Okay, fine. If he starts pointing that motherfucker, it's 7 other people that's here that's going to point right back. Hey, man, what the fuck you doing? Your fitness coach, Nick, says, so who gets to decide who gets to carry? The same people who decide who gets to carry now. But they want 16-year-olds to vote. I'm against that. The age that you make it to where I'm considered an adult should be the age that I have the rights of an adult. Who are you being social with in your car? It's not about being social within your car. It's about it being a thing to where if I walked around with an AR-15 in a grocery store, people would lose their shit, including police, because it's not socially accepted. It's not a social norm. It used to be, but it's not now. It used to be when people walked around with fucking muskets. It used to be when people walked around with their rifles. People go into a saloon with their rifle and it's no problem. Not that everybody should, but you should be able to if that's your thing, and it should be socially accepted. That's all I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I understand that everybody got their concerns, but the odds of an active shooter shooting in a place where there's guns, show me it. Show me where an active shooter has come into a police station. Show me where an active shooter has showed up at a gun range. Show me where an active shooter shows up in those 2 places alone. Hasn't happened. And if it is, the percentage is 0.000000001%. That's the point that I'm making. You want to stop this? Make it to where there are no easy wins when these motherfuckers do decide to do this, because this will never change. But you can help prevent it, and you can have a much faster response time, because in a situation like this, seconds matter. A 3-minute response time, 2 to 3 minute response time, which is average for police, to respond to this is why you can get 20 people shot in 2 minutes. It's why you can get 12 people shot dead in less than a minute. That boy that shot them people at that store in Buffalo, he killed all those people within 2 minutes. That's it. Those of us that live here in this country that want to declare war on everyday average citizens should be confronted by those same type of citizens that have the proper tools to confront those people that do it. There's crime everywhere. A mass stabbing and a mass shooting still equals massive death, mass death. This whole idea of banning things that hurt us is not the answer. Because in that case, we should ban cars. What about the dude who drove through the fucking parade? Was that last year or 2 years ago? Luther says you should not need a bunch of armed teachers in an elementary school. Luther, you're right. But I guarantee you, if there were teachers that had to be that were actually trained and had the opportunity to carry a gun in the school, they would. I know I would. I know I would. Everybody don't have to do it, but you need to make it to where those that want to can. I was a teacher. Well, I was a teacher assistant. And I was in a school. If I could carry my gun, I would. And if something like that happened, I would respond. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm telling you, tell me where I'm lying and tell me where that's not true. 1 teacher, 2 teachers, 3 teachers, 4 teachers in a school that carry guns that have been trained, not just legally able to carry it, but that have been trained, can make a difference in it being 3 kids instead of 20. Or if everyone knows that there are teachers in schools with guns, maybe there wouldn't be any. So would you teach with an AR strapped to your chest? No, I wouldn't, because it would get heavy over time. But I would damn sure teach with an AR sitting there next to my desk in a fucking gun safe. I sure in the fuck would. Not gonna kill more people with friendly fire or whatever the fuck else you want to come up with. See, y'all don't even entertain and even look at the logic in what I'm saying. Exactly. Thank you. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So Crazy Mook said, bro, they would just go shoot somewhere else. Like where? Give me an example of where somebody would shoot. Gun safe, you're already fucked. No, I'm not. Because if I'm in classroom 107 and I hear somebody getting shot in classroom 103, I can respond, sir, faster than the police can. I'm not telling you that this will stop it from happening altogether. I'm telling you that this would drastically minimize it happening. If I'm in classroom 107 and I hear bang, bang, bang in classroom 103, 2 doors down or 3 doors down, I can respond faster than the police can. Am I not telling the truth? Is that not true? All you need is people who can respond to the threat. You can't stop it from happening. You need people to respond to the threat. You know why people don't do mass shootings at police stations? Because everybody in the goddamn police station has a gun. I'm telling you, I can do this shit all night. You're a firearm safety teacher. You're not a fucking sheepdog. Jay Luther, not being stupid, I'm a firearm safety teacher. I didn't say people go to a firearm safety class. I said people go and get trained. The training that I have as a law enforcement officer to handle an AR-15, to handle a firearm, and being put in those situations where I go and qualify to shoot, absolutely, I'm prepared more than the greater majority of motherfuckers that would be in that same situation. You're literally just being a pessimistic person about what I'm saying, but you're not being able to present facts. Because I just factually and statistically showed you that this does not happen in places where there are firearms being carried. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at a gun store. It doesn't happen at a fucking police station. It doesn't. Every time one of these happens, it happens in places where people do not carry guns. Black communities where you got a bunch of old folks at a grocery store. You see, these ain't no mass shooting happening at a trap house. Where a motherfucker who's in school saying, I'm gonna kill everybody tomorrow at the trap house. I'm gonna go shoot up Ray Ray and them. They don't do it. So what are you saying? I'm gonna shoot my my 5.56 in an elementary school, you goddamn right I'm gonna shoot my 5.56 in an elementary school. Hell yeah, it's gonna be suppressed. Don't spam the chat, please, Nathaniel, the gamer. I'm absolutely gonna shoot if another, wait, tell me this, Jay Luther. If a motherfucker comes into your place of business where you a firearm safety teacher and they start shooting, what you gonna do? Call the police? And this motherfucker's a competitive shooter. Let's just say you are. I don't give a fuck if you are, if you're not. If someone comes shooting in your place of business, your place of work, in your home, and they start shooting, what are you going to do? What are you gonna do? Are you being a competition shooter? You just not gonna do, no, let me stop and call 911. Yes, I'm a competition shooter. My name is Jay Luther, and I got someone in my house shooting right now. I got someone at my place of business shooting right now. Can y'all please come help? You not gonna shoot your 5.56 in an elementary school. The fuck I won't. See, I'm a fucking sheepdog. I'm not gonna let some dumbass, I'm not gonna let some social misfit, I'm not gonna let some crazy fuck come and have his way with a bunch of fucking 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. But obviously you would. I said the rifle, sir. You could still have a handgun on you just like I got a handgun on me now and nobody knows it. Well, the people who watch me, they know it. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm knocking this shit down as much as he's trying to throw it up. I'm knocking it down. And he has not once said back to what I'm saying. That's not true. That can't happen. I'm telling you that the response to an active shooter is to have a good guy to confront that active shooter. First of all, you got the entirety. Listen to what this motherfucker said. I got time today, y'all. First of all, you got the entirety. I don't know what the fuck that means. Wrong weapon for a school. Duh. I guess Mr. Salvador Ramos had the wrong weapon too for an active shooter then, huh? I guess Mr. Ramos had the wrong entirety of a weapon. I don't know what the fuck you was trying to say, but I guess he got the wrong weapon too, huh? You see what I mean? Exactly. How did the handgun help the guy at the grocery store? How about this? How about our active military? Should they just have handguns going over to Iraq? His goal was not saving lives, genius. Mine is, why would I not have a weapon that could match a weapon that someone could bring into the school? He won't answer that. Y'all heard that question I just posed to him? I promise you he won't answer that question. That person who came into the school with an AR-15, what would you suggest, Mr. Gun Safety Guy, as the response to that person? See what I'm saying? Iraq ain't in grade school. Okay, but you just heard my question. The person who comes into a school with an AR-15, what would be the proper tactical response to that person who has an AR-15, sir? Please answer that question. And if you don't, you're done. Dumbass. You see what I mean? Why not have an M1 Garand? This is what I'm talking about. This is why I can't lose this argument. Because now you're going to be a dumbass. So, sit down. Time out. Let me time your ass out. Yes, he's done. Yeah, he's done. He is done. He's just insisting on being stupid. Meanwhile, 20 kids are dying. Like he was just, all talking all that shit in the beginning. He won't dispute my facts. He'll just make stupid ass remarks. So now, sir, you're done. You're done. You're done. Have a good night, sir. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to be right back, but I'm going to let y'all watch this real quick because I want to use the bathroom and answer these questions if it's any. I'm going to take some questions and then we're going to get on up out of here. God damn it, I can't start this shit. Here, let's watch this again. That's work. Ooh, my back teeth floating.
We're learning chilling new details about the teenager who carried out the Texas massacre. 18-year-old Salvador Ramos posted messages on social media hinting about his evil plans. Wait till tomorrow when this warning and this, kids be scared, along with photos of 2 assault rifles and a high-capacity magazine. The morning of the massacre, he sent this text to a young woman he knew. "You gonna repost my gun pics?" She answered, "What your guns got to do with me?" He replied, "I got a little secret I want to tell you."
Texas Governor Greg Abbott revealed 3 chilling Facebook posts.
He said, "I'm going to shoot my grandmother." The second post was, "I shot my grandmother." The third post, maybe less than 15 minutes before arriving at the school, was, "I'm going to shoot an elementary school."
Here's Jim Murray.
Friends say Ramos was a loner who was bullied at school for a speech impediment and reportedly came from a family troubled by drug addiction. Several months before the massacre, he came to live here with his grandmother, who worked for the school district. He slept on a mattress on the floor.
Joseph Moreno is a neighbor.
Did you know that he had guns?
No, like I say, he had just turned 18 and he went and bought it. And he told this friend of his, look what I got. And the friend said, "Hey bro, what do you need those for?" He says, "Don't worry about it." That was his answer. "Don't worry about it."
Kind of gives you chills, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to take any questions that anybody may have. If anybody wants to dispute what I said, you can go ahead and ask now. If not, I'm just going to wrap it up. And I'm just going to say this. I've said this plenty of times before. Other people have said this plenty of times before. This is nothing new. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Statistics have proven it. You've seen plenty of mass shootings. You've seen plenty of active shooters. You've seen plenty of instances, just like the church here in White Settlement. You had a guy that came in with a fucking gun. He shot and killed one of the deacons in the church and was stopped by one of the security guards at the church who was armed. Guy was a fucking firearms instructor, made an incredible shot with a .45, and he stopped him. Fact. Proven. Good guy with a gun going up against a bad guy with a gun, and he won. So it's not a thing to what I'm talking about. It's not absurd. It's not unheard of. It has happened before and has been successful, where an active shooter who only maybe shot one person or killed one person was stopped to where they couldn't keep doing it. And at the end of the day, whenever you have a situation like this, when you're talking about active shooters, when you're talking about mass shootings, that's the only way that they've been stopped. That's the only way this doesn't get stopped. So somebody asked the question, why don't other countries have this issue? Number one, other countries do have issues like this. Number two, it's not on the same scale as America because America has the most guns than any other country in the world. Why is it that we're the most freest country in the world? Why is it that for the most part, people can do whatever the fuck they want to do in this country and not in other countries? Because we have guns. That's why. Since 1791, We've been the country that has guns. We've been the country with the most freedoms. We've been the country that has the most people that are trying to come to this country. Ain't nobody fleeing America going to live in all of these other countries. There are more people coming to live in this country than any other place in the world. I wonder why that is. It's because of the freedoms that we have. So that's why. So I'm just telling you, when people look at this and you ask those questions, that's exactly why we have that. It's different here because there's no other place in the world that has guns like this. Because just like how you'll turn around and ask that question, why this doesn't happen, why it only happens here in this country, the same reason why you haven't had what happened in Venezuela happen here, where the government literally took all of their citizens' guns and then they starved their own people. And when the people started to fight back and went to just protest, they went to protest at their government building. You know what happened? The military shot their own citizens. Exactly. Look at the killing. You don't see it, but I guarantee you, if you go and look at it, the amount of killing that happens in places like Mexico, the places like the Congo, places over in Africa and shit like that, in other parts of the country where you have people that are starving, where you have people that are disenfranchised, where you have people that, when you have that much of a separation in these third world countries to where you have the haves and the have-nots, it happens. It's just that the government has more guns than the fucking citizens. And they lose. Just like when you go over to the Middle East and you have motherfuckers throwing rocks at tanks. That don't happen here, does it? You got those. Go and look up, do some research. Go and look up the gun violence in other fucking countries. And see how those people are there living in the worst conditions. And you know who's running those areas? The fucking criminals. I want to say I did a story talking about the violence that happens in other cities in I forgot the name of the place. I want to say it was in Mexico though, where they were talking about how the women there were just getting killed at an exponential rate, where they were just literally raping and murdering women more than any other place in the world. The citizens were. They literally are just over there raping and murdering women at will. They rape the bitch. If she fights or she disagrees or she don't want it, they kill the bitch. They rape her and kill her anyway. Right, look at Juarez. Shit. They hired a fucking new police chief because the cartel didn't want him in there, and that motherfucker was dead in a week. His SUV was riddled with bullets. I'm telling you, this shit happens everywhere. Let me look it up real quick. There was like a documentary on it. Yes, Honduras. That's where it was. The level of violence affecting women in El Salvador and Honduras exceeds the combined rate of male and female homicides in some of the 40 countries. How often are women killed in Honduras? The number of femicides, they call this shit femicide, it's that many motherfuckers. The number of femicides makes up 9% of the total number of homicides in the country, in Honduras alone. In 2013, 53 women were killed every month. And more than 90% of those cases went unpunished. The police couldn't even catch the motherfuckers that was doing it. There's a documentary on that. highest, listen to this. What's the highest domestic violence percentage? You know who ranked number one? Anybody guess? Fuck it, I'll tell you. Afghanistan. You know who's number two? Vanuatu. I don't even know where the fuck that is. Somebody tell me where Vanuatu. Vanuatu. Next is number 3 is Equatorial Guinea. Number 4, Solomon Islands. I'm telling you, dude. So what are you talking about? And that's just the top 4. That was just top 4. America wasn't on there, was it? It's an island in the Pacific. There you go. Femicide, the murders giving Europe a wake-up call. Article done by the BBC. Women hold up numbers to represent the 101 femicides in France this year. Other European countries have already reacted to the crime. This is just me just looking off of a fucking Google. Matter of fact, I'm going to show your ass. See, when I'm talking, I'm not just saying some shit to be saying it. I'm showing you factual and statistical data that shows how people are getting fucked around in other countries. And motherfuckers don't want to talk about that. Boom, there it is. There it is right there. On September 1st, a resident of Cagnes-sur-Mer in the south of France spotted a foot sticking out from a pile of rubbish, branches, and an old quilt. It was a disfigured body of a woman, the victim of a brutal attack. Her partner denies the murder. Right. Salome, age 21, could be France's 100th victim this year of femicide. So what are we talking about here? So it's not like, oh, this is the only place that this happens here, man. It's only here. No, other countries don't give a fuck. Because there are people like, you ain't got nobody doing YouTube talking about this shit in France. You don't have nobody on YouTube talking about this shit in Afghanistan because they can't. You don't have nobody getting on YouTube in North Korea talking about the motherfuckers there that just come up missing and come up dead and don't nobody do shit about it. I'm telling you what I know. This shit happens everywhere. It's just that here we have the freedom to not only fight back, but we have the freedom to actually speak out and speak up about this shit. Now, we ain't talking about the male-on-male crime that happens. We're not talking about the regular homicide and killing that goes on. And these are the countries with way less guns than us. These are the countries where they don't even have guns, like Australia and shit like that, where they gave up their shit and motherfuckers they got the highest rate of fucking home invasions in Australia now that motherfuckers don't have guns. I wonder who's doing those crimes. Could it be the fucking criminals? Yes, the United States leads in mass shootings in the world. That's true. But that doesn't say that shit like that, where murders and shit aren't happening in other places because they can't report it. You don't see people in China going on YouTube talking about this shit. Because they can't. Stop living in your fucking bubbles and actually get out and look up some shit and see what the fuck else is going on in the world. And you would kind of be surprised. Thank you, Straight Sith Mail. I didn't even know that. I just got educated. Straight Sith Mail said the U.S. is number 11 in mass shootings. Do some research, motherfuckers. That means there's 10 other fucking countries that got way more mass shootings than us. Fuck are y'all talking about? You go over to China and they monitoring what the fuck you get to click on and what you get to see. Boom, came right back. Sith is on it. Norway has more mass shootings than America. What about the video I did about the motherfucker who had the knife and was going around stabbing motherfuckers out in public? Just started slicing and dicing. And got away with it because there was no one else around. He stabbed like 11 motherfuckers. By the time the police even got there. Random. Just out in public and said, fuck it. Foop, 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 foop. And that's it. Nobody could stop him. Y'all motherfuckers gotta stop living in these bubbles and stop thinking that America is just this terrible place. America ain't the best place, but we damn sure ain't the worst. We ain't gonna even get into that crest line. Just the other, like the physical, the beatings and motherfuckers dying with getting beat to death with bats in other countries. People getting fucking acid thrown on their ass in other countries. We ain't gonna even get there, go to that. America may blow ass, Eminem, but I'm telling you like this. When you look at these other countries, I guarantee you that them motherfuckers are struggling and got struggles just as much as we do. The metrics are not accounting for per population. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You have to take into account that this is the only place where people have the freedom to talk and to bring up and point out and show this data. People in fucking North Korea can't report on this. The regular people. We got to take the government's word for it. I just said, what is it that you want me to say about America, Mystic Path? What is it that you want me to say? Am I saying America, it don't never happen? America is just the safest place ever. No, what I'm telling you is there is no other place that is as technologically advanced and as advanced as a country, as a society, as America that has the freedoms that it has. China, Japan, Australia, England, they don't get to do what we do here. They just don't. They can't do what I'm doing now. But I guess it's easier for you motherfuckers, instead of accepting responsibility and looking at what's happening and what's going on in your own country or in this country, I guess it's easier to just say America's bad while you probably live here. I just told you what needs to be done, Mystic Path. You just want to do something because you think that if nobody had guns, as idiotic as that sounds, that this wouldn't happen. And I'm telling you that it's literally impossible. It's impossible. What you're trying to get to, the point that you guys are trying to make is if we had more laws and we took away all the guns, we wouldn't have this. That's not possible. Mystic, do you live in America? Let's see if he or she is gonna be truthful. Where are you from, Mystic Paths? You got to look at how they show the numbers. Are we talking about the numbers or are we talking about the people that are dying that can't protect themselves? Which one are we talking about? Because if we're talking about the numbers and we're talking about the people that are dying, you gotta choose it. You got to choose and let me know which one you're talking about. You in Texas. Man, come on here, man. Come on here now. I don't get it. But this is what I mean by we have so many people here that are literally fucking sheep. We got to get to a point to where we are able, for those that choose to, are in a position to where they can protect themselves, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and I'll end it with this, the only person who is ultimately responsible for their personal safety here in America are the people. You are responsible for your own safety. You are responsible for you being okay, your children being okay. So if that's the case, and if that's the fact, why would I then let someone else tell me how I can protect myself? What tools I can use to protect myself? Why would I let someone tell me that I need to wait for the police to protect my life when there's someone trying to literally end my life? That's all I'm asking. Answer that question. Why would I want to put how I protect myself in somebody else's hands who don't even live in my fucking community? They can't answer that. They never can. Because it makes no sense. Why would I let someone who lives in a gated community that is secured with their own security, why would I let a politician who gets escorted by law enforcement everywhere that they go, why would I let someone who gets to fly on private plane to and fro to wherever they go tell me how I get to protect myself and my family? Won't ever answer that question. Just because I say this country is number one in mass shooting doesn't mean I don't want to live here. Get out with all that. That still doesn't answer my question that I've asked several times. Because obviously, 3071, you don't have an answer. What is your solution? Watch this. What is your solution, 3071? What is your solution? We ain't gonna even talk about that, Lapis, where Beto O'Rourke act like he's a fucking Mexican, act like he's a fucking Hispanic, and everybody knows he's not, but nobody says it. And nobody, especially those that are Hispanic, say, man, get the fuck out of here with that Beto shit. Your name is Robert, bitch. Or Francis or some bullshit like that. His daddy literally nicknamed him that so that he could gain favor with the Hispanic community. It is, you're not looking at how stars work. You know charts can be misleading, right? You know you still ain't answered my question, right? You know you still ain't came with one solution, right? Yes, Robert Francis. That's that motherfucker's name. Robert Francis. Not Sanchez, not Alvarez, not Torres, not Quiles. A fucking Irishman is walking around acting like he's Hispanic, and you stupid motherfuckers are cool with it. I'm just telling you what I know. It's amazing to me how I'm just giving people facts and they just don't want to hear that. They disregard that. It's amazing. You know, charts can be misleading, right? After I ask a specific question, direct question, bullshit, sidestep and answer. That's what we get. because they literally don't know what the fuck to say because they don't know how to think for themselves. Still ain't answered it. Still no solution. You know that those statistics ain't right? You know that there's the per capita of the solution of what I'm saying in the quotient equaling to the crux of what the initial statement was per se was the initial, you know what it sounds like when you're talking with the shit that you're saying, 307, and all you other motherfuckers that are saying, this is how y'all sound.
Boom, man, that old cow flight all. Tell you what, man, you want to get a flying cow, man, you go load up them dynamite and old cannon like that, you go to boom, man, that old cow fly.
That's what it sounds like. Still ain't answered the question. You see the chat ain't went away. Chat is steady moving. Had plenty of time to answer. Still nothing. Still nothing. They cannot answer it because they literally will not think for themselves. They just live in this fucking bullshit ass reality that they've created for themselves. And because they're fucking cowards and won't really look at what's going on and take the measures to protect themselves and those and their loved ones, they'll literally sit back and make this a government issue. They'll sit back and listen to the government officials tell them how they should live. See what I mean? Norway's population is a fraction of the U.S. population. As a result, Norway's death rate came out more than 20 times higher than that of the U.S. Still, you won't answer the question. You see what I mean? This is exactly why I have to do what it is that I do. Because I'm saying it like this. If I live in a town, if I live in a country, let me make it plain. If I live in a country that has 1,000 people and there's a country that has 1 million people, way more people than the other one, right? If this country don't have guns and this country do have guns and they're killing more people here and they're still percentage-wise just as many people dying here, then are we talking about the numbers or are we talking about the deaths? Because I'm going to tell you like this, 1,000-person population losing 100 people is quite devastating and is more so devastating than a country that has 1 million people losing 10,000 people. Still a lot of death. You see how quickly people try to just discount lives? Cuba is way better than America. Cuba is damn near a third world country. But let's compare that. Let's compare Paraguay to fucking America. I'm just telling you what it is that I know. The fact that you motherfuckers are listening to people that don't live in high crime or high violence, gun violence areas, and y'all think that they got the answers, it goes to show your level of intelligence and your ability to think for yourself. Because I'm going to tell you like this with another fact before I go. If all of these other places are such wonderful places to live, why isn't everyone else across the fucking globe going to live there? Why is it that in places like Texas, Florida, why is it that everybody's flocking to move here? We have all of these lax gun laws. Why is it that everyone is moving from California, New York, to Texas, to Florida, to the point to where they are the highest in just overall population growth than any of the other states in the country? There's so many people moving to Florida that the fucking rent has increased by upwards of 30%. I didn't say putting more guns makes sense. I said more people being allowed to carry guns. Why do you consistently just try to add shit to what I'm saying instead of just answering what I asked? What? I'm going to do it one last time, then I'm gone. And I promise y'all, he don't have the answer, or she don't have the answer. 3007. What is the answer to the mass shootings and the gun violence that occurs in America alone? Let's not look at no other place. You tell me. Give me that answer. Not telling me what's happening in Norway, not telling me what's happening per capita in other places in the world. In this place alone, you live in Texas, I live in Texas. You tell me, in America, how do we stop it? Finish my drink, and I'm going to finish the show. That's good. Drill Heaven Beat says, you Americans think America is heaven on earth, but I can't tell. Whoever said that? Whoever said that? No one. Amanda K. And people are dying coming to America. True. How about this? How about the uptick in violence that occurred by all of the people from the Middle East that moved to Europe? How about the uptick in violence? And I'm talking just violence overall, crime, everything. The people in fucking Switzerland were being overran by all of the fucking immigrants that were coming over from fucking the Middle East. Literally fucking up their country with all of the people, the refugees that were fleeing over there. How about that? All of those fucking people that they let come into their country literally had a huge uptick in rapes, robberies, violence, deaths everywhere. Fact. Not me speculating, not me guessing. Facts. Them refugees that came over to the UK, went over to England, France, fucking Switzerland and all that, fucking those countries up to an alarming rate to where we knew about it. So you tell me why. And they can't. You see, I just doing there we go. Now I can end the show. So you heard me ask that specific question to 3071. And you saw that this person did not answer. They just came back with another. And I asked them specifically, don't tell me about no other country or nothing. They came back and said, Germany banned semi-autos, and look at that country, how that country has significantly dropped in mass shootings. Oh, so that means we can compare any other country that's doing better in gun violence than we are, regardless of how big or how small, regardless of what laws and restrictions they have. We can all compare them to America, but we can't do it the other way around. Gotcha. That's my point. You're full of shit. You see what I'm saying? France had 4 mass shootings in 2017. We had over 300. The hell you talking about? It's going to happen because per capita, we got more guns here than there. Move to France, sir. Move to Germany, ma'am. Wherever the fuck you think it's better, just move there and let us deal with our violence. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And on that, the defense rests. I'm done. I'm done. It's over. I want to thank you guys. We ain't going to even get into it about the stabbings and shit they had the highest stabbings than America did, but we won't count that though, right? 3071 won't say that though. You see that? Won't answer my question and will not say that France had way more stabbings than we did. But nope, that don't matter. Nah, that don't matter. We only going to talk about the 4 mass shootings that they had in 2017 because they don't have any guns, you dumb son of a bitch.
You dumb son of a bitch. You dumb son of a bitch.
That's what I mean. And this is what I'm talking about. Thank you. Yes, 3071, you're done. You're done. Have a nice night, ma'am, sir, whatever the fuck you are, person. All I'm saying is this. If you want to have a discussion about gun violence in America, great. If you want to talk about the best way to actually save lives, you want to talk about the best way to actually mitigate what we have here as far as gun violence and crime, period, I can have that conversation. But if you can't answer my question, why the fuck would I answer yours? Even though I did plenty of times. But it is what it is. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out to come and watch this show tonight. If you are watching this on the replay, please, 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 please click the like button. Click that donate button. I don't even know if anybody even donated. I was just so into my thing tonight and trying to make my points, I didn't even look at it. But let me check and see real quick before we get out of here, because I do want to thank those that did take the time to donate. Thank you to my man Uganda who donated to your boy. Hit your boy with the 20 piece. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Shout out to my man Billy Goat. Hit your boy with $5. I appreciate it. I hope that that you're doing all right. It's good to see you guys. Thank you all so much. I love each and every one of y'all. And to all of those people that don't want to take responsibility for themselves, to all of those people that don't have any real solutions and really any real answers and do not want to have an actual discussion, just leave my channel. Just go elsewhere. If all you want to do is throw up random information that don't speak to the point that I'm making, if you can't counter my point by actually answering my questions, if you just want to throw up random facts that have nothing to do with what I said, if you want to try to put words into my mouth and say something that I did not say, just leave my channel. That's all. You can go elsewhere. There are plenty of other channels. I'm just a small content creator. I'm a small content. I'm just an old, small time content creator, but I do work hard for my content. I do. And I take pride in what it is that I do. And I speak with facts, logic, and truth. If you can't handle that, just leave. And you don't have to come back. Go somewhere else. There are plenty of people who want to entertain you. I'm not one of them. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every last one of you guys. I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Please click that like button and click that donate button if you're watching this on the replay. My name is Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And shout out to the United Guns of America, which is the other channel. You can go over there. I got this same show streaming over there as well. I thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Y'all have a good night. Till next time, peace, and I'm out. What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's two of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff. Anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.